Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil, and I have finally completed the Paldea Evolved Battle Pass. That means I can take a look at the live economy and see what I have earned so far in Paldea Evolved and what I anticipate to earn by the end of Paldea Evolved. What I did is when Paldea Evolved started, I wrote down what my coins, crystals, and credits were, what those numbers were for all of them. Although, quite frankly, I'm not going to pay attention to coins. That's only for cosmetics. I'm going to just worry about crystals and credits. And then once, and since Paldea Evolved dropped, I have not bought any products in store. I have not crafted any cards. So I have spent 0 crystals and 0 credits. So now I can look at my total crystals and credits, subtract what I started with, and know what I gained. I also need to add in the 60 crystals per day that I'll gain for the daily quests for the next 4 weeks. And when I do that, I anticipate I will get a little over 4,000 crystals, and I'll have over 9,000 credits that I will gain. But to make things even simpler, I'm going to convert those crystals into credits. You get over 3.3 credits per crystal. You just buy products in the online shop. For most people, I recommend the Shadow Rider League Battle Deck. That gives you about 3.3 credits per crystal. If you have a lot of celebrations cards in your collections, then the celebration packs may be better, but you need a large base of cards to start with to make that useful. So I'm sticking with the Shadow Rider number of 3.32. That's the precise number. So when I multiply those crystals that I have times 3.32 and add it to the 9,000 plus credits, I anticipate on gaining an equivalent of 23,342 credits. So over 23,000 credits. That's a little bit less for comparison than when I got in Scarlet and Violet. I got a little over 24,000 there, so, averaging somewhere 23 to 24,000 per expansion. But, those numbers are pretty close. Obviously, there's randomness in terms of the pack openings, and when you get duplicate cards, you get credits for those duplicate cards in that. So there is certainly randomness within this, but anticipate at least 23,000. Now, that's nice, but of course, it's only useful to the extent that we know what we're going to spend those on. So I put together a Paldea Evolved wish list. Let me look that up here, just show you that briefly. It's a 60-card, quote, deck I put together. It's not one you'd ever want to play. And to just see to what extent I pulled the cards that I wanted. I based this on Omnipoke had a kind of suggested cards that might be useful for meta decks and for more fun decks. And I just put this together based on that. I needed some set of cards. I didn't use any common cards, though. I leaned more heavily into the EX cards than I did previously. And with all these cards, 60 cards, if I wanted to craft them all day one, it would have cost me over 23,000 credits, 23,550 credits to craft them all. And I got 23,342 credits, so I just about could have crafted them all, but then I couldn't craft any other cards, so that would not have been good. So the question is, by waiting to craft cards, to what extent have I pulled the cards in my wish list? So I'll just take show you a few example cards and then give you the overall numbers. Spiritomb, I wanted 1. I have 2 Spiritombs, so I got Spiritomb. I wanted 3 Tinkatons. With this, I have 3 in total, not all the same art. 2 of the basic art, 1 in an alternate art. So again, I have all 3 of those, and you go on through that and take a look. Like Tinglu EX, I wanted 4. I don't have any 4 basic arts, but I have 2 in alternate arts, so therefore I pulled 2 of the 4. So I went through my list of cards, taking a look at what it was going to cost to craft, and as I said, to craft all of them would amount 23,000 credits. When I look at the cards I pulled, and convert with those credits that it would have taken to craft them, it would have taken almost 16,000 credits to craft the cards I pulled. So I pulled an awful lot of cards. It did a very nice job pulling cards. Obviously, there's randomness within that. Can't guarantee the results will be repeated in the future, but still a high number, and I think that's very noteworthy. Now, to craft the rest of the cards right now, I'd have to spend 7,850 credits on the cards, which is certainly doable because I have over 23,000 credits earned. I could do that. I will point out, though, within these 7,000 plus credits, almost half of them are in these 3 Tinkaton EXs, which I pulled none of. And the reason these are so expensive, if you take a look, they're only the full art or secret rare cards. I believe an EX deck, battle deck is coming out. So once that battle deck comes out, the cost to craft them will reduce drastically. So I've pulled the vast majority of the cards I wanted, so that's good. So conclusion there, it was well worth my waiting to craft cards till I finish the battle pass. And I suggest you do the same. If you're a budget player, don't want to actually spend your real life money on the game, wait to craft the cards. Maybe craft a few cards, a few trainers that you're going to use in multiple decks, but as much as you can, hold off crafting the cards from the newest set when it comes out. I did actually much better in Paldea Evolved than Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet, I pulled off, about half of what I needed. This time I pulled almost 2/3 in terms of credit value of the card. So it worked out very well there. So just to wrap up on the conclusion here, I would expect in general to earn about 24,000 credits per expansion that comes out. Now that includes converting the crystals that you're going to earn into credits. It just makes it easier to think of that way. And then I really would strongly suggest that you wait until the battle pass. You've completed the battle pass before crafting your cards, right? You're going to open up an awful lot of packs as you go through the battle pass. 5 packs here on tier 50 plus this Paldea Evolved crate and such. You get an awful lot of cards, so hold off as much as you can. And quite frankly, as I see it, we have very good access in the Pokemon TCG Live economy as long as you're patient and as long as you're willing to use the basic art of cards. You should have access to the cards and decks you want. I like to play a variety of decks, and I find at this point I'm basically breaking even in terms of what I'm earning in the game to what I need to spend to get those cards. Now, the one caveat I will say is if you want to craft VMAXs and V-Stars, they're much more expensive than these EXs, so be careful there. To craft like a 4/4 VMAX line or 4/4 V-Star line gets very expensive, so just be careful with that. But in general, you will find access to the cards you want. And I think it's a much more accessible economy to budget players than PTCGO. So I'm very happy with it. Just be patient. That patience will be rewarded with more cards in the end. So hopefully you find this useful, and good luck getting those Pokemon and those cards you want. Take care.